Welcome back. Here's a box design we haven't had on the channel in a while. Metro Arms, their American Classic line, hand-fitted double stack 9mm 1911. Coming up next on GBGuns. So the Metro Arms cases are always beefy and large and in charge. Quite the organization in here. So you see that this cutout is spaced as such that if you had optics on your gun, it'd be good. You've got room for magazines through here. And here's our manual. We'll take a quick look at it. There's not much in this case. So I just got a gun and a single magazine. We do have actual photos, which is nice. Black and white, but very clear. Let's get this stuff out of the way and take a look at the gun. So, if you're unfamiliar with the American Classic line, it is manufactured by Metro Arms, the same guys that built this incredible bobcat that I have just been loving for years. Handsome gun, very comfortable thanks to that edge there. Shoots amazingly. Just awesome, awesome 1911. So that's Metro Arms. The American Classic line is one of their lines, obviously, and that's where this new XB comes from. Nice, beefy, double stack 9mm 1911. It is a little oily. It came in a very oily bag. I've wiped it down a couple times, but every time it rests, more of it comes out. It's sort of like if you ever served in the military and they did one of those CLP soaks in your rifle and then put it back in the rack, and it seemed like every time you pulled the thing out for the next several weeks, carbon and CLP would come out. So before we take a look around the gun, we'll of course check for clear. We're going to drop mag. Nice extended magazine release there, sticking out. See if we have an ejector release. Bit of an eject. Slides out just fine. There's our big fat double stack 9mm, double stack the single feed obviously. No witness window aside from full and empty. But a competition gun like this, that makes sense, depending on your competition style. We can see that the chamber is empty. Now we'll take a look around the gun. So coming around the front, really tight slide to frame fit. These are all hand fitted, by the way. You can see a little bit of a recessed crown on the barrel there, which stands out nicely. That stainless barrel on all black gun. Dots, the sights are a 3-dot sight. I'll show that as I come around the back. We do have our front serrations for press checking. And if you don't like press checks, then don't do them. Tired of hearing people complain about that stuff. Squared off, beefy, heavy. This is an all steel gun, so it's a very heavy gun, which is gonna, combined with 9mm, produce some very soft recoil. So I'm really looking forward to this. We've got serrations on the trigger, which is skeletonized with an adjustable travel there. Let's see what our trigger pull looks like. Pull to the wall, break, reset, kicks you outright to it, breaks again. That's about what you'd expect from a 1911. Excellent, excellent trigger. Do you see that there's some relief here cut to be able to get access to the trigger, just as there is a little bit of relief provided through here so that your knuckle doesn't dig up on the trigger guard. I have large hands, it fits comfortably on this gun. It is a beefy, beefy gun. We don't have any cut relief here for the acceleration of inserting a magazine. However, you do have a single or a double to single feed magazine here, so the part that you're initially trying to get in the gun is very narrow compared to the mag well. The rest guides in, not really necessary. Plastic grips. We see we've got an extended and level curved or bent, if you will, safety. Clicks on and off nicely. No checkering on the front strap. Vertical serrations on the rear strap with that extended beaver tail and extended grip safety. Skeletonized hammer. Looking at the back, slide to frame, no movement at all. And if I do this, I can almost pump oil out from the inside of it. That's how snug everything fits. And here's our sight picture that I was mentioning. It's 3 orange dots with a white line in the middle there to help you center things up, which is interesting. This is the first time I've encountered it. Love to hear everyone's thoughts on that, whether or not they like that. Safety on the southpaw side, just as easy to activate and deactivate. Handsome looking gun. Let's take a look inside the gun and see how this thing's built. Alright, just for everyone's entertainment, I am going to remove the bushing and spring first, since I know everyone complains when I don't do it that way. That pops out. Now we've got no resistance to be able to bring our side release out. Come on. Ooh, this is a snugly fit gun. It's a little tight in there. Can I get the magazine in there? Nope. I'm gonna have to get a pry tool in there. Or push from the other side. Brief intermission while I find something appropriate to push. There we go. That comes out. Now we can remove our slide. There's our guide rod, not a full-length guide rod, which I'm okay with. I've shot plenty of 1911s that were more than accurate enough without a full-length guide rod in them, and they're so much easier to disassemble. Now we can rotate this back the other way to remove our bushing. Lay this down and pull our barrel out. Whew, that is a snug fit. So precisely machined. Let me get one of my wipes so I can absorb some of this oil here. Just because it's a bit wet to handle. Yes, this is an older wipe. I've heard y'all complain about me using dirty wipes. It's alright, I'm just removing grease. Alright, so start off in our frame. Man, this thing is meaty. It's just a big piece of steel. Let you all take a look. I'm sure a question that many of you have had is this a 70 or 80s series? For those of you who don't know, this is a 70 series, and 70 series lack a safety device that's up here that some people complain impacts trigger feel a little bit. It's what became the modern drop safety in 1911s. It requires just some friction and some more parts moving, so that's why people don't like it. I don't care either way, but I have noticed that most 70 series have a pretty darn good trigger to begin with, and that's what we've got here. Our nice barrel, very well polished feed ramp. And we'll take a look at chamber support. Very heavy barrel, but it makes sense when you're putting 9mm into something originally designed for 45. Using our nozzler match, of course. Snug fit. So very tight chamber. And we do not have complete support as expected. For those of you curious about chamber support, the concept is that you may not want to run reloads unless you actually really know the quality of the brass in not fully supported chambers, because if you have case rupture, it's going to blow out in the direction that the chamber is not supported. But this being a competition level gun or range accuracy type gun, I would imagine you would not be using reloads, maybe your own hand loads, but not cheap factory mass produced stuff. Gun looks pretty good. I'm going to get this back together, and since it is 9mm, we're of course going to have a lot of fun with the What's for Dinner, running all kinds of loads that were never expected or intended to run in the 1911. So that'll be fun. We've got lightest load currently is about 65 grain, and our heaviest is around 165. Too far right there. Get this started. Pull back to there. And get this all the way in. Man, this is a tight fitting gun. It is really impressive. Now, a challenge with reassembling the way that I have is making sure that the spring is on the guide rod. Get our cap on there on the end. And shove that down in there. Rotate our bushing. And then, there we have it. Guns back together. I'm also really looking forward to running some of that nozzler match through here and seeing how tightly we can get this thing to group. It is beefy. It feels thick in the hand for a 1911, but I wouldn't say particularly too much bigger, if at all, than your standard double stack 9mm. You have a little bit added, of course, for these grips versus most of your double stack 9mm are polymer, so the grip is integrated. But 17 plus 1 rounds of capacity. That is a serious 1911. Nice 5-inch barrel, shooting 9mm. This is going to be a fun gun. Let me know what your thoughts are on the American Classic XB, and we'll get it out to the range. See you in the next video.